everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ashley, and today I'm going to go over a quick tutorial on how I'm going to hoop these canvas tote bags using fast frames. So this specific tote bag is a very heavy canvas. It's a 600 weight canvas, and it has a pocket right here in the front that I'm going to use to slide my fast frame in. And that's the reason I really prefer using fast frames on these style bags. If I was, opening the whole bag up and stitching through the pocket, a regular frame or mighty hoop might work better. But for this, I like using these because then I don't need as much clearance with the arm of my machines. I specifically use brother machines. If you have a machine that has a smaller cylindrical arm, then that might not be as much of a reason to use the fast frames. But I use fast frames. I love them. I actually use 7x7 fast frames for these. Because of the weight of this bag, I choose not to use stabilizer. I could definitely use a tearaway stabilizer. There's no reason I would need to or would not need to. I do not like cutaway on these because then getting into that pocket and trying to cut away is very difficult. So I do not need any type of cutaway. It's one of the very few items I do in my shop that I do not use cutaway on. So what I do, and like I said, is use these 7x7 fast frames, and I'm going to show you exactly how I hoop it and line it up, and then how I secure it on the frame without any stabilizer. Alright, so I have my tote bag here on my flat surface. This is how I prefer to hoop. I'm going to use my 7x7 fast frame that I mentioned. Mine are a little dirty because I do use adhesive spray. So I've been asked before, how do you tell what's the front and what's the back? And that's by looking at this side. So you'll have the frame, and then it's going to like divot up just a little bit, and that's so it sits flat on the actual fast frame arm. So this is our front. This is our back. If I put stabilizer on it, I put it on the back and tape it on. Again, there's no reason I can't put it on a tearaway stabilizer on here. I just don't need it. Some people like to use sticky on these too. That'd actually be a great use for sticky, but again, then you're gonna have to get in there and get that out, and I'm not a fan of that. So these specific bags have kind of a landmark that I can use to find the center. If not, I would quickly measure and put like a dot where I want the top center of my design. So I'm going to stick it in with the frame side that up, that's going to attach to the machine. We need to remember to keep this part of it that attaches to the arm out of the pocket. And I like to line that up just with the very top of the pocket itself. So my design is going to be stitched roughly like right here. It's not completely center of this pocket, but it's mostly center from top to bottom of the bag itself. I use these little binder clips that I buy just, local store, Walmart, wherever, to secure my bag onto these fast frames. What I do to start, and these will be removed so I can attach the fast frame to the machine, is I place two there just to hold my frame in place. And then I work on securing the sides. So what I do is I just pick the whole thing up. I secure it once there, and then once down lower towards the bottom of the frame. Flip it around, and I basically do the exact same thing on the other side. This is when I just take these off and basically reuse them. So I only usually secure it in about 4 places. I am going to secure it at the bottom too. I need to grab another clip. So 5 places, I guess. Sometimes I do, depending on the size of the design, I do end up having to take this off because the arm will push it off anyways. But we'll see how this design lines up. It's not one I do as frequently. But there you go. It's all hooped, ready to go. We're ready to attach this to our machine. We have plenty of room in this pocket area now for our arm of our embroidery machine. Alright, over at the machine now, I already have my fast frame arm on the machine. That just slides in real easy. So what I do is, a lot of times I actually do this on one of my machines that's on a stand, not on the counter, but actually it doesn't make a difference. That's kind of one of the benefits of having a stand, is sometimes having that extra room. But you can see I have plenty of room below here. So what I do is I slide this on, There's your screw to loosen it. The 2 notches there to line it up, and then tighten it, and we're ready to go. So I like to kind of pull my bag, once that's on there, kind of pull the excess bag down. So it's just giving as much room inside as possible for the arm to move. And I'm going to pull up my design on the machine, and then I will do a quick trace to make sure that we're not too close to any of the edges. If we get too close to the edges on these fast frames, it does, like I said, push these clips off. So I like to try to use as big a frame as I can that'll fit the pocket, even though that sometimes means that it's much larger than needed for the actual design itself. Alright, I have my design set up in the machine now, and I like to do just a quick, almost like a manual trace, so I can see approximately where the top's going to be, where the bottom's going to be, and you saw how that lifted kind of the whole thing up. That's the end of our arm catching there on the machine, as well as the top of the bag back here. So that's what I'm talking about when I say we need to be really aware, even though you have more than enough room in the frame, with where your placement on the bag is. Side to side, this is going to be fine on this design. It's not very wide, it's more tall. So that looks good. I could even bump the design up a little bit towards the top of the pocket, and then we didn't get as much lift there, you could see. So that's going to be our center. That's good. I don't actually have to do a trace since I did the manual trace. I like doing that sometimes because then I can stop it if it's pulling the bag or removing the clips or anything. So now we're ready to go ahead and stitch this out. I'm going to let it stitch. Alright, thanks so much for joining me today while I hooped up this tote bag and stitched it out using fast frames. A couple more things I just wanted to note real quick. If you're using a different type of canvas, this is a thick 600 weight poly type of bag that's just super thick. I can get away with no stabilizer. If you're using a much more flexible bag, you really need to experiment and make sure that you're using stabilizer or the correct type of stabilizer. Again, I could have used sticky or tearaway on this too, but they hoop great on fast frames without that, so I just bypassed that altogether. It's one less step when I'm finished. So thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. As always, we would love to have you like and subscribe to our video, and comment down below if you have any questions or any suggestions for new videos. Thanks everyone for your support, and I will see you guys next time.